Well, what are we playing today on Labor Day weekend?
We are back to Sands of the Sudan. This is a game that I was introduced to by a fella out of England named Dave Doherty, and we've been having a lot of fun playing this game because it's semi-suicidal if you're the British, but if the cards don't come out in the Mahdi favor, they survive. So today, their goal again is to take the village with the mosque, which is there by...
Oh my gosh, it's Goober the Traveling Bear.
So, they got to take Gooberville there. You've got a wadi here that they can come boiling out of. We've got some brush here. We've got Rocky Mount. That's some more scrub down there. Then painting over some more scrub, some more a patch of brush.
How about this village?
Another small village for them to go through on their way. Another rocky hill and some more brush. So there's about 10 or 11 pieces of terrain on the battlefield that they can ambush from. So
now, could you introduce me to your officers?
They're not my officers. They're my victims. First, I have Captain Corporal Derek here.
That's Corporal Captain to you.
Corporal Captain.
And Derek, what are your troops that you're commanding today?
I'm running 2 artillery pieces, 2 troops of cavalry, and a Gatling gun.
Next
All right. Major Minor.
And Mr. Mike, what are you commanding today?
I've got 5 companies of British regular infantry.
Very good.
And next is Major Payne.
Stop!
Kevin, what are you in command of?
I'm in command of the Scots. 4 companies of Scots and a mountain gunner.
And we have to listen to your terrible accent all game.
So, and Jim O'Neill in Scotland, who's a huge fan, he loves it when you do your crazy Scottish stuff. So Jim O'Neill will be doing Scottish stuff. And then
Pasha Bill, what are you running today?
And I have the Egyptian Sudanese troops. And my chore will be to save my British allies.
We like the way he thinks.
So, I guess
sacrifice.
We need one thing. Mike, would you mind doing the rule book so I don't have to answer that? Can you talk about that for a minute?
This was put out back in 2014. It's loosely based off of Pony Wars. And...
Should we ask you where we can buy it?
No.
You may not ask me, because I have my copy.
He has no idea.
All right. Well, we're going to jump into the action from time to time. And thank you, everyone. And anything you want to say?
Sure. The drums just started. This is going to be a great game, guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Well,
here we are on turn 2, and already we have some spearmen have popped up out of that rugged little mountain hill, and Mike, I guess, has stirred them up, and we need to be prepared for an attack there. Of course, our superior troops are really formed in line. I got my skirmishers, and we are doing great.
Mike, I think you could shoot it.
Well, this is our opening fire. Mike is going to be firing his skirmishers.
I missed.
And he rolled a miss, and those spearmen are in the mountains, and Derek is preparing his cavalry. I don't know if he's going to charge up that mountain.
Well, it's turn 3, so I'm going to flip my next card.
Uh-oh.
Drum stop, the fun begins.
Drum stop. What does that mean?
Well,
Hey, Derek, you might not want to move yet.
It means.
You see where stuff's showing up.
Oh, Kevin,
This
what
was
is the
part of that
adventure?
move, though.
Well,
So, anyways,
move turn.
what it means is the cards that I've been stacking up now
our last
show
move
up.
is what triggered
So
them.
we're going to have more than
That's
just
where you
one
go to
unit
6
of Mahdi
inches.
show up. We're going to have
The first thing
looks
happens
like
is he
3
draws the
units
card.
appear.
Drum stop.
Actually
We don't
4
move
units.
yet until after the Mahdi.
Okay.
So,
All right.
let's roll to see where the guys come in at.
And how are you designating the...
Like I have the
In
other
3-foot
game.
sections, I think.
However you want.
So the first one is hostiles. We have 500 hostiles appearing. 11, which is here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
What side of dice did you roll?
So, Walt, what just happened?
Well, the drum stop card came out, and as a result, those cards that had been stockpiling since turn 1 suddenly got exposed. And so one of the cards was Osmond Dingo and 60 Warriors, Fuzzy Wuzzies, along with another 50 Fuzzy Wuzzies. So he's got 110 Fuzzy Wuzzies that are coming out of the brush. He's also got an Egyptian gun that's been captured and that's been crewed by Egyptian prisoners. Also, further up by the Rocky Mount, 60 more Ansars popped out.
Now, my viewers may not know what that means. What is it?
Ansar, it's just the followers of, they were the people that followed the Mahdi. They mostly wore the clothing with the patches. The Fuzzies were just all the black African from... these were more Beja. The Ansar were more the Beja than what the Fuzzy Wuzzies
And
were.
these troops here are armed with muskets or spears and swords?
Spears and swords.
Spears and swords. And they look like they're going to be hitting Mr. Derek.
Which isn't good.
All right. Thank you all for the quick update, and we'll get back to our game. Like always, I break into the action. Walt's Mahdi troops are moving forward. Derek took his horsemen, and he has fallen back as hordes of dervish and fuzzy wuzzies are coming out from everywhere. And hopefully our British troops will form line and fire volleys and drive them back.
That Emir's attached to that unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he should.
And down here
Or is that guy not the Emir anymore?
we have one heck of a lot of
There was the
fuzzies
one in the back.
One in the back.
hiding in the
flag.
scrub there.
I
So
always thought they should be mounted.
Well,
The,
Just to show that they're different.
I had two guys extras. I pulled out the two guys.
All
with
right, we'll come
flags.
back to
I only
the
had
action
two.
in a little
So
while.
they be Emirs.
just to break into the game, right now we are doing our British maneuvering. Mike and Kevin are setting up their battle lines. I have the Egyptian troops again, and I have orders to march and take this village. My skirmishers are out. Kevin and Mike are preparing their battle lines, and Derek is holding the far flank, preparing for his the attacks that he soon will be encountering from Walt, the great Mahdi leader. All right, for our people in Scotland that watch our videos, Kevin, as the Scottish commander, can you let Jim O'Neill in Scotland, how are you doing?
Sir! We're gonna take it to him and kick it up the gingy.
What the hell was that?
They know what I mean.
All right, Jim, I hope you can decipher Kevin's Scottish accent. His, what do you have, 5 units of Scotties coming through?
Fool.
4.
Yeah,
And a gun.
and a gun.
All right, well, thank you, Kevin, for that quick Scottish update.
You're welcome.
All right, the guys are firing. My
So, minus
Egyptian
2
Sudanese troops
with 12
knocked 2 of the Arab mounted
is
out
15.
of the saddle.
Two.
And then
that's
over
natural.
here,
So 2.
Two.
Kevin and Mike have opened up with their artillery in there. Are we using Martini Henrys or are we using Enfields in this time period? What?
Claymore.
It depends on how early or how late this is.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
1890s. Oh, 1880s. I'm sorry, late 1880s.
There would still be some Martini Henrys.
There are still Martini Henrys floating around, we have decided.
The Scots still have
Turn 4.
And the ever fair game master, GM.
Hostiles appear. The 3 is more Fuzzy Wuzzies.
Uh-oh.
And
And
they appear
I don't have any fuzzy wuzzies.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're right about where that brush is.
oh my
So there's
goodness.
50 Fuzzy Wuzzies popping
So
out.
we have Fuzzy Wuzzies appearing here in my right next to my Egyptian column.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna pause the camera
I do
here.
agree.
Well, I have Fuzzy Wuzzies on my Egyptian flank. And this is not good.
Within 8, they stay where they're at. They don't come
Right
out
now,
at all.
Walt says they stay where they're at, and they're not going
Now, these
to
guys
charge out.
They don't have to do anything, right? They
These
just have
guys
to keep
charge.
attacking.
They just
keep
keep
charging.
charging.
All right, we'll come back to the
And
action.
those guys, what do they do now? They don't have any target.
Sands of the
They
Sudan
can't
rule
even
set.
see anybody. Do they? You can't see them, Mike. I mean, I can't shoot through
150
these guys.
feet, 150 inches.
And I need a clear line of sight to him, which I don't have. Neither does Derek. He's got hills in front of him. We have to. Now, are these guys out here dead? What are these guys out there?
So those fuzzy wuzzies are coming out of the scrub wall?
Yeah, they're advancing.
Okay. Looks like there's 50 or 60 of them there.
There's 60 here.
Do some semaphore for us.
Those are dead.
Spot
I'm not
force?
sure what those are.
I don't
Man.
know these guys out here. Well, are these guys dead out here? The one's not in the stand? Man, I know.
All right, well, what's happening on this flank with Derek's cavalry?
Well, an Emir showed up with 60 Ansar, actually 600 Ansar. They charged the evading cavalry. The cavalry saw them coming, turned around and countercharged. So we're about to have we're about to have some dead cavalrymen. That was really good.
All right. So, Derek, I hope you roll good. We'll come back afterwards and we'll see what the result is. What do you got? 10 cavalrymen?
Just 10.
And about what, 30 dervishes?
30, 100.
60.
Yeah, 60.
60. All right. Well, we wish you luck. And I know Mike is now defending himself against a horde. And, of course, Kevin and I have some issues on this flank. But we will survive because I am Sudanese Egypt. And Kevin, of course, is Highlander.
Colonel Haggis McHaggis.
So why don't you guys?
Well, coming back to the action for my
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Your factor
Egyptian
6 down
troops,
to
that unit,
5
and that unit, I rolled
is
poorly,
24.
and
No,
I
it's
only
30.
took
No,
down
no,
3
that's
of
if he
Walt's
was a
fuzzy
7.
wuzzies in the scrub.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
25.
I'm sorry. Factor, right.
When they
okay.
charge out of there, I might have some
I'm seeing
issues.
25.
Okay.
And also my Sudanese troops here
Okay.
in the buildings,
So roll
trying to hold off
10-sider.
those
Outsider roll.
mounted
Roll, 1 through 5
Arabs.
you want, or
They
roll
I failed to roll the hit there
Roll
too.
over, right?
No, it's
No,
it's
you
that
wanna
Very
roll less.
concerning
Five.
game already. We
Less,
have
less.
Mahdi's troops are
So
everywhere
two guys
already.
will come out of the big
And
ones
on
up there.
top of that, we
that
have
was from here.
that gigantic
I
horde
thought
coming
it
down the
should-
path.
Go ahead.
All right, well, what happened with the Derek cavalry charge and your dervishes?
Well, they charged. Derek countercharged. He killed 2 dervish. We killed 2 dragoons. But they, in turn, because if it's an even result, the Mahdists are considered to have lost the combat. So I rolled for the reaction, and I was hoping for a 4 because that meant we could have continued the combat. But they rolled an L, which they rolled a 5, became an L, which means they basically had to back off and regroup. In the meantime, though, we did have a group of 30 Mahdists. You can see now they're down to about 20. Charge a British unit. The
Stay
British
safe,
they killed like 8 of these guys going in and fighting hand to hand. But they did lose 3 guys. But the result was they did roll a 4 because they lost the combat, which meant they continued to melee.
So that's a continuing melee. Now, can Mike withdraw from that, or is he stuck in that melee?
We get stuck in.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you for the quick update, breaking into the action. And we have a lot going on in this table compared to the last game. There are hostiles everywhere.
That's because Walt's being.
Okay, I'm breaking into the action, everyone.
I
Mike has
inflicted
got a
4.5.
line of British infantry trying to hold off Walt's dervish attack. Walt rolled well. We are resolving the combat now.
Mike, you've got 9 guys, right?
Yes,
And what was your battle factor?
6.
So you were a 5 plus 1, 4.5. Okay, so you want to roll for your
That guy.
see if you got the other half, 5 or less.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you got a total of 5 guys.
So Walt has lost 5 dervish in that action. Now we're going to find out what Walt does to Mike's British infantry.
So I started off at a 4, but I rolled a 1, which is a random factor of plus 2. So I'm 6 with 16. So if I go to 16 and go to 6, I see
16.
80.
Yep, 8.
Holy cow.
So 8 Brits die.
8 out of 9.
So
Oh no, he didn't.
that stung.
So I don't have to
Yeah.
roll a reaction with them. I would think, though, that in your turn,
Wow.
Mike, if you want to reinforce that at this point, you
Then
probably
you could
could.
charge in another unit.
Oh, now I can.
Well,
I couldn't before, but
I
now
don't
I
know.
All right,
can.
then you can't. You're right. You're right.
I think
it
that,
doesn't
yeah.
say you can, so you can't. So you're right.
So,
I have to wait till I get the
you're
rules
right.
and see.
Mike,
if I
do you
can
have
find
a,
loophole on that,
I guess in our next battle, you'll bring up another line to fill in that gap?
Yes, I
Well,
will.
he's got a gap there.
All right. Well, that was an exciting hand-to-hand combat action, and Walt actually won that one, but Mike fought gallantly, and he has one man there holding the line.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So he's dead. So you.
We have
fight
broken
back.
into the action.
You're
That
a
one
4.
British
Your
soldier
roll.
is gone.
Is
has
Oh,
been-
up
one
to
becomes a
6
6.
Okay. So you have 6.
One guy and
with
6.
one guy, which is a 50-50 chance of hurting one of you.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
50-50.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, 50-50.
Well, you can win this combat then.
So if you roll.
Yes, I
If
die.
you roll a 5 or less.
He
And I
does.
He does.
He wins the combat.
So,
No, he's wiped out. So
Yeah,
he doesn't
but-
win.
Well, you took equal losses.
Yeah, I know, but he's wiped out, so I can't lose.
so Kevin, can you
So
do a
it
quick
says
recap? Well, was Walt correct on our rule decision?
All right.
Well, he was right on one, where he said he could have outnumber his imperial opponent 5-1 in the third round,
And that was true.
and that was true. But now he says that losses being equal, he didn't lose the combat, even though he wiped Mike out. I say he did, but he still lost.
I think Walt kill that guy and then we'll move forward into those other units myself, but I am not the Everfair GM. I'm just an Egyptian commander.
But there's no follow-up. Nobody follows up into anything.
Our table looks phenomenal today, everyone, and we have
I don't
Fuzzy
know about-
Mike, are
Wuzzies.
you checking to see if
And
if
dervishes
I follow up?
everywhere.
Because when I played Bill last time, and we wiped out the skirmisher. We go to turn 7 now.
Turn 7.
Okay, this is a new card that Mike created, and it's called Noonday Prayer. This card is where all the Mahdi's guys have got to freeze. They don't move this turn. They can shoot. They can still continue to fight if they're fighting, but basically they don't really take anything as far as reaction test or anything because they're all doing their Noonday Prayer. On the flip side of it, though, this also acts as a drum start, drum stop card. And so as a result, in this case, we already had the drum started, so the drum will stop. So there will be a bunch of Mahdi guys showing up again in this turn. There's going to be 250 rifles show up. There's going to be 500 more Mahdi guys, plus another 600, either fuzzies or whatever, and they'll show up with another Emir. So when the drums stop, things get pretty hairy.
All right,
So-
thank you for that update. So we're talking a couple hundred more figures coming on this table.
We are, and we don't have them.
We don't have them. Oh well, they can't show up then.
All right, so
Well,
instead of
Walt's
it, yeah,
pulling
stop,
these cards
stop,
out.
No, same thing.
We
It's an
have
event.
one heck of a
Noonday
lot
prayer.
of camels have arrived, and they're going to be charging down the road or path. And the amount of fuzzy wuzzies. Kevin, can you do a quick? What do you think our situation is as a British Egyptian troops?
I'm selling my stock in the canal.
What the heck does that mean?
That means we're doomed.
We're boomed,
Doomed.
doomed. All right. Let's ask our cavalry commander, Mr. Derek. What do you think our odds are of completing our game today?
Completing it? We'll complete it. but
Oh,
we're
we'll
not gonna win
complete it. You didn't ask me that.
Are we going to win, Derek?
We're not going to
No.
win. No.
No, a
But
prayer.
that's okay.
All right, and we're going to go to our Supreme British Commander, who's both our brigade commander and our overall division commander, Mr. Mike. What is your prediction for today's game?
Short and bloody.
Short and bloody. Does that mean we are going to defeat the Dervish, Fuzzy Wuzzies, and the Mahdi?
With a lot of really good die rolling? Yes.
All right.
Upstairs, Walt.
Well, I'm going to do a pan of the table, and I'm hearing Walt saying that lunch is ready. And this is a 6x12, correct, Mike?
Yes.
This is a 12-foot long table, not 10, and it's 6 feet wide. And I'm going to say at this point we must have 400 or 500 figures at least on the table, maybe more. Any idea, guys, how many you think we might have out here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12,
And
13, 14. We've got about 160, 170 Imperials.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4,
About
6,
160
9,
British.
10, 11,
About
12,
300.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That'd be 190, so almost 200 foot. And we've got 60 camels.
All right. One heck of a lot of 28 millimeter figures. All right, we're going to go break for lunch. When we come back, we'll continue the action. Well, we broke from lunch, we're back, and now we are on our British movement phase. And I just thought I'd give everyone a chance to see where we're at. The Egyptians are
Everybody's too
attacking
full
there.
Your skirmishers can move full
That
distance.
Egyptian unit is
They
holding
can
them
move
off.
They can move 15.
And then the Highlanders are advancing here.
I guess they can be skirmishers now, right? Yeah. They just
Mike is being
Yes.
attacked in the
Well,
center,
because
but
it just
driving
did
them
it
off.
last turn, didn't
right.
it?
So now that
Now
And
they
then
can move us 15 inches.
Derek is getting hit heavy on that
the
flank.
skirmishers move what, 15?
Yes.
Okay.
And then over
Well, we'll
here,
move up to here though, so there's still benefit. from
we
the
have
sun
one heck of a lot of
And you can shoot. Get up and
camels.
Yeah,
The
and
Camels galore.
shoot.
I think there's like
Cover, you're
60
right,
or 80 of
shot,
them.
so.
Getting ready to attack.
so, Mike, you're saying that the rifle
And
guys
the
can't
holy
respond
priest
with fire
there, the holy man is,
because it's prayer hour.
the prayer hour
Yeah,
is
nobody.
getting them all
if
excited.
They're not in combat. They're sitting down and they are praying.
Okay.
If they limbered, they can.
And Mike, for my video, what happens when they're done praying for this
Again.
turn?
They decide that they're going to all attack because they've been inspired.
Inspired. Kevin, do you have any inspiring comments for our British troops?
You come up there, lumper.
What the heck does that mean?
They know.
Made up Scottish.
We have like 3
Yeah,
Scottish
yeah.
viewers for our video channel, and Kevin thinks he'll know what he's talking about.
I wish.
All right.
Able to
Breaking
hit
into
you
the
there.
action, the Fuzzy Wuzzies are attacking my Egyptian troops. The prayer time is over, and it is fun time.
Everybody attacks.
Everybody is attacking. I got Fuzzy
Double
Wuzzies
fire.
coming in.
Short range.
I've got
Not
You-
well,
Dervish
yeah,
cavalry coming in on my flank.
But yeah.
And on the mountainside, we have Derek is going to just get overrun if he doesn't roll well. But I have confidence that Derek's going to roll hot and
Mike,
drive those
I
back.
can hit your skirmishers with this group. So do you want to stand? Or you want to run?
And in the back, we have Dervishes and Fuzzy Wuzzies
I
coming
think
in from the rear now,
I
too.
think you do it hand to hand. I think
Things
it's
are
a
looking
+1.
a little dicey right
we
now.
will shoot and take it then.
And
Okay.
there are a lot of troops on the table.
Let's see here. Can we shoot?
And
it?
I believe I have to move
Not if he's in
Charge
combat.
That's what's wrong with it.
all the camels.
All this weaponry.
All right.
Not a shot.
So in a previous game of Sands of the Sudan, I had asked Walt. Walt rolled for camels to appear, and unfortunately, Walt had none at that time. And as you can see now,
I'll show you.
Walt,
Ah.
you have camels now,
Yes, I do.
and one heck of a lot of them, and they're heading right towards
Like this
You.
guy.
me. And I think I'm going to get overrun if I don't roll well. All right, and Walt, I have to say, I got to get close up.
Yeah, the
This camel
movement
horde
trade
is
all the
incredible.
way to the bottom
I mean,
of the back.
and you painted these in like a week and a half or less, I think.
About right.
Yeah.
But when you're retired, you have the time.
That's right.
How do
And
you don't have the
it's
time? You're
possible.
wargaming almost every day.
Try to.
All right. Thank you for the interruption, and we have troops all over this table.
Yeah, we'll
This is
worry
probably
about
one of the
just
best
square
games we've
bases
had
on
for the Sand of the Sudan
Right.
system.
They do have.
All right, I brought the
Maybe get
camera
on
to
your
the other
horse.
side of the table.
Fire.
Just for a different point of view, Derek has all these troops coming in at him. And Derek, what unit do you have here?
They have
There's
a cavalry
the
troop that's
big
been
guy,
dismounted.
Dismounted, and they are going to fire like mad.
Yep, they're gonna hold the line.
And Walt's got this little pea shooter cannon out here that's been taking pot shots at us. That's a captured Egyptian gun, right, Walt?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
And this is the guy here making sure that they do their duty.
Wow. Okay. And it's nice to get a point of view from the other side of the table here. And
We're going to be firing here again, so that goes down to 4.
Kevin, would you move that blue tape measure for me? Thank you, Kevin.
We're going to double fire here
And
again.
Kevin, how is the Highlanders holding up? Kevin, can you tell me how your ammunition status is for your Highlanders?
Well, it's much the same as for most of your Egyptians. We haven't had anything to shoot at.
My Egyptians are down to 3s and 4s and 5s. I've been blazing away.
Yeah, but you haven't been hitting anything. I've not been shooting except with this fellow, and he's been hitting things.
That's
I've
true.
had no targets. You know, I was coming up here to support you, but nothing has fought you over here. It all runs away till that. And
And
here,
you did have sunstroke, so.
and I did have sunstroke for 2 turns. I couldn't move.
And Walt, this table looks just incredible. All right, we'll come back to the action.
You're
on.
Of
Still has
course,
to hit.
my
Still has to
Egyptian
hit.
troops are here fighting gallantly. Here and here. And I'm holding off all these fuzzy wuzzies.
All right, fine.
Well, they just got here.
I'm holding them off.
We'll see if you hold them off.
I'm holding them off.
First,
Kevin.
you're gonna have
I'm
to
holding them
roll a
off.
hit, I guess.
All right, I'm never on the
What
camera, so we have
D-
Kevin running the
D10.
camera.
Right,
Thank you,
what's he
Kevin.
doing?
And I don't know where Goober went.
the range
Has anyone seen
4,
Goober the Traveling
looking to see
Bear?
if there's
Not
anything
lately.
He's
else.
gone again. All right, thank you.
No,
Bill.
Well,
what
my
just
Egyptian
happened?
troops right here are fighting gallantly. They fired and killed five of the fuzzy wuzzies. Hand-to-hand combat, I killed another
what we're
one.
doing is we're looking at your random factor.
Walt, however, killed 2 of my
So your
Egyptians.
cavalry
We
says
rolled,
European
and
on
believe it or
4 is a
not,
0.
the
Your
fuzzy
random-
wuzzies have
your random
held,
factor, that's
and they're
what
still
factor
charging
factor.
into me, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stop them in the next battle. They're going to get to attack me with twice as many figures as they did this time. It's going to be interesting.
That's
You wanna know the true
melee.
irony?
There's your
What's the
range.
true irony?
They lost badly, right?
And they lost badly.
If they had not lost badly, just lost on a 3, they would run off the table.
So,
Go
it's
figure.
amazing.
The gods are unkind.
And breaking into the action really quick, my Egyptian troops took on Walt's giant horde of fuzzy wuzzies and drove them off. One volley and a few stabs, and off they went, running with their tails between their legs.
Ooh.
And I only lost 2 Egyptians.
Tempting fate now.
Look at that.
Bill,
Yes, Walt.
the next card says, where the bloody hell did they get that from? Fuzzies with machine guns.
Oh no.
A captured Gardner gun appears with 3 native crew placed within 24 inches of a random Imperial unit. The rules for machine gun fire still apply. So they'll always enthusiastically attempt to fire 15 rounds. Tough to do. Okay.
All right. Where is that machine gun appearing?
Well,
I'm going to let the
well,
camera
We have
run.
to find an Imperial unit that he's got to...
Well, how you want to do this?
All right.
Where's
We'll come back to
Where's
that.
the-
the
brigade
20,
is
where's the
first.
20-sided
Yes.
die?
Pick.
Where's-
The camels are preparing for the charge against the Sudanese and my Egyptian troops. And in the last video clip, the machine gun did not appear. And I was awful cocky with Walt that I'm going to hold him off. But now I see this coming at me. I'm like, holy cow. Looks like 80 or so mounted natives on these camels. I'm going to get my butt kicked. I'm going to ask the Highlander commander, Kevin. Kevin, can you come to my rescue?
How exactly do you suggest? I can give you some advice. Get in these buildings. The camels have got to be less effective fighting you in a building.
All right. Maybe I will go and take refuge in the buildings, but this is the Victorian age. We're supposed to fight to the last. Sergeant Major Derek in charge of the troopers, and you had what?
Captain to you.
Corporal Captain. You had what? 5 men there? 7 men?
4.
Major.
4.
Can you tell me what happened?
I had 6,
7.
7. Initially, Walt came over the hill, fired at him, and then we went into hand-to-hand combat. He lost, I won. I lost 3 though.
You lost 3 of your troopers. And Walt's horde of dervishes were driven off the field. amazing game we have going. You never know what the die rolls could bring, and
So next we do, Derek, is the next group against.
we got one heck of a lot of cavalry
has a
coming.
crew of how many?
Well,
And I
the
get 14,
Egyptians are
so you get
losing
7 guys.
here.
You started a 5,
We are
Derek,
getting
plus the die roll.
pushed back,
Doing
and I
D10,
lost several
right?
figures
Well,
again.
D6.
I don't think
Roll low.
I'm going to be able to hold out. I got
Yep.
cavalry
Yep.
coming,
Six,
more fuzzy
five
wuzzies.
A 3.
Three.
Three.
So it's 7 guys out of 3. 21.
Yep.
So roll 8.
Yes, it is.
Bill, that is 15.
Yeah, I
So
just
if
realized
roll
that going
and do a 5 or less. I did.
Both
So
cover
2 guys
and
died.
seven.
Here. All right, and that's from that
Five,
Gun.
seven
Fun, they
captured
did some
guns.
damage.
All my hits go up.
I got
to
more
seven.
guys.
Derek, you want to fire at my guys on the hill?
Yeah, if we're both in cover, is there still modifiers?
Well, it's a
Is
hit
it-
modifier, it looks like
He
to me.
hits.
You
See
start
this
off,
guy.
how close are you?
3 inches.
3 inches, so you're at a 2.
Yes, medium range. So I need to roll with
He
the
hits.
Firing
Medium
into
range
cover
is
is a
close.
-2.
I got a
Three. He
10.
missed.
So,
Oh no! Oh wait, shit.
well, -2 means, well, first you roll a 10-sider.
Yeah,
If you
I
roll a
rolled.
5 or better, you're good.
Yes,
I
I
rolled
rolled
a
a
nine.
9.
Or 9, so
Now
you
it's
hit.
a random.
So now you're going to be firing
One
at me
plus
at a
2.
base of, in a 3
Let's
that's
see,
medium
my
range.
small arm fire.
So you're a 0. Your random 6-sided roll.
Foot versus foot.
Okay.
Long is a -2
Three.
to start with.
3, which I
One.
believe is just a
Plus
0. It's a
So
1.
a 0.
So you're at a 1
So I
with,
have
how many guys are 4?
12 and zero.
Yes.
4 guys out of 1.
Well,
Okay.
breaking into the action. My Egyptian troops here. The one unit's been overrun. The second unit took two
This will be
losses,
Oh, that's a shame.
and Walt's
So
cavalry
you have 3
is
guys a
coming in.
4, and you random
Um,
roll there.
They're coming in
And what?
here.
Random roll.
And then out here, I took my other unit out of the
Negative
building, and
three.
I formed a skirmish line.
Could be a 1.
What's the 3 do?
And then out here,
For a European, it might be a 1.
I'm getting ready for the gigantic camel charge.
Yeah, it's a
There's
one.
no way I'll survive that.
So you go to a 5
Walt's
with
got
3
this little
guys.
pea shooter cannon he captured, and he's been lobbing
5 to
shells.
3.
And I'm starting to take
Yeah, I
casualties
see
for that
13,
unit.
So roll to see if you can
Now I'm going to try to
another-
scope in on our line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm not going to narrate quite so loud
Sure.
because the guys are figuring out their casualty numbers. But
you
the
want 10
Mike
you
is
need 3 or
holding
less.
gallantly, but he's got
Nope.
troops
No
coming
problem.
behind him now.
Give me one dead
And then
guy.
Kevin has
One
moved
dead.
his Highlanders forward to
dead.
show those to you. And he's
Hopefully,
advancing.
you're
And we'll
picking
swing
up all
over to
3
Kevin
guys.
and interview Kevin really quickly here. Kevin, how are you doing on your end?
I'm showing a
I'm
5.
doing
Would you
fine,
roll
but
your
that's because
Roll to 3.
3.
the hostiles
That would
are
make
avoiding
it
me.
6.
They're avoiding you.
Yeah, they're beating up on you, they're beating up on Derek, they're beating up on Mike, they stay
Three,
clear of me.
Yeah, 1.5.
Maybe it's the skirts.
Maybe.
And he didn't roll.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
I'm just trying
Well,
to follow up.
you know,
So coming back,
there's
those
been
are Monty
some of
boys
the
that are
game
not
today. I
in the
forgot to
town.
turn the camera
I
on.
think,
I hope
all
you're,
three
Three
of you
attack
are
with 15.
It's
all
hard
your
to play a
units are gonna have
game.
to
I've been
be mounted,
heavily engaged in this
because
game
otherwise with the free-
with
it'd
my
be hard to
Egyptian
pick them
troops.
apart.
So my camera work hasn't been maybe the best today as it
Either
has been in the
mounted
past.
and/or
I've even forgotten to use some of the
So
sound
if you get
effects.
your cavalry as a 1.
But it is what it is. This is real wargaming in Walt's basement.
2, I think,
and,
is another +1. So
It's
I'm at 2, you say 15,
unpasteurized.
Mike?
Would that be a good word,
Yeah.
Kevin?
Yeah, so you're
How would you describe our videos?
Raw.
37?
Raw.
True to life and raw. That's
Yep.
how I put it.
All right.
So they're
We're breaking into the action, everyone. What's happening on that far flank where the cannon is?
It fell.
It fell. Did it get overrun?
It's
well,
going to, yeah.
the cavalry got wiped out, and then they pursued and went into the gun.
Oh, bloody.
And so, how's the Gatling gun doing?
It's gone.
It's
Gatling
gone.
gone.
What? The Gatling gun's gone?
Don't they,
Oh,
if
no.
they're
Jammed
pursued,
up the
it's
first
6 plus
use.
1d6.
First use, it jammed. Yeah.
Because if they roll
It
poorly-
jammed?
First time he tried, remember how good the service we got out of that Gatling gun a
Yes.
couple weeks ago? First time he tried to fire it, it
Yeah,
jammed.
they'll get there.
What is it?
It
Hey,
was
it wasn't
7.5 inches.
Asking much, he was shooting
Anything
just
but
like
a
we
one,
shot
and they
last
would've
week
made it.
or the week
Wow.
before. But he rolled a 1.
If you rolled it, you'd roll a 1.
Jammed
Yes, and then they
So, what is happening
I'll
behind
roll
our
three,
lines,
Mike,
Kevin?
so it's
Can you
good.
narrate a little while I do the camera? Looks
Well,
like
I think there's going to be an opening at Brigade Commander.
Well, where do those
Or division
dervishes
commander.
come from the rear of the table?
From the rear of the table, yeah.
But I thought we
Behind
had.
our lines.
I thought we always had the ever fair GM Walt Leach. How do we get dervishes up our butt?
Because he's ever fair.
All right, so the drums are still beating. No second card has come out, so it's now the modest reaction time.
Right.
Bingo, everyone.
Cecil
Thank you,
B.
Derek.
DeMille Walt, or John Ford Walt, is getting pictures, and I'm going to take a moment to do a little more video work. We just had massive Mahdi charges. Got a charge there. We have Kevin. What's over there? These dervishes here. Where are they heading towards that cannon?
That's what I'm told, yeah.
And then over here, we have a lot of fuzzy wuzzies have come over the hill to attack my skirmish line. And of course, unfortunately for my Egyptian troops here on the road, a couple weeks ago we asked Walt about camels. He didn't have any. I don't know where the hell he got all these camels, but they're coming up my butt.
Get the other part too, didn't they?
It was just a couple weeks ago.
It was just a couple
had
weeks
no
ago.
camels
Walt worked
yet.
all night making these camels to crush me.
We haven't even cracked
The
it.
other part.
All right, being here on the other side of the table, I decided to come over and see how Derek is doing. So you have your artillery is being charged here from the rear by these Mahdi troops, and you also have, is this
Inside
Mike
now.
holding off from the rear?
Yes.
He's doing fantastic. Where was the Gatling gun? The Gatling gun's gone. And Mike's line is holding well.
7.
And Walt's still
seven.
holding that
That's a
stupid
hit.
little ridge. He's been there for 4 or 5 hours just picking away at us.
That is a hit.
All right.
So 10 guys. What's my
Very,
variable?
very interesting how these dervishes showed up on the far edge of the table behind the
-2
line.
with 10.
And that's what our table looks like. It's stunning. And there's Walt's little cannon that's been a pain in the butt, shooting every turn. And that's one heck of a lot
That's
of camels coming at
2
us.
guys on the roof that died. Or on your hill that died.
All right, we'll come back to the action.
They killed
Well,
5,
it's
they
amazing,
killed
it's
3,
amazing,
whatever.
but
Yeah,
I
I
took
forget.
several
So you're
casualties
shooting
from this
still
line,
down at the 3.
fighting the
I
camels,
start on it at 1 to 3 inches.
but I
is
drove
a
them
2,
back.
Right?
But I don't
And
think
then
I
I'm
can
back to a
sustain
3,
attack. Another attack will
minus
probably
3
break the line.
because They're in
Cover.
loose, right? Well, -3 because they're in skirmish.
We have,
So
attacks
however
coming
you look
from
at it,
here.
I'm not going to be able to.
It's a
and
whiff. Okay.
the entire
yeah, I
back
have to
of our
roll real high to
line
hit them.
is being overrun in the back too. However, the fire they're pouring on that ridge hill, Walt's taking heavy
That'll end
casualties.
up being a hit on them because the artillery is firing.
Oh, Kevin, how is Sergeant Major Derek doing with his artillery battery?
I think he's cursed. Yeah, he's a story of his day is he can't roll a number over 2
He can't roll. So he needs to
on a
visit.
10-sider.
Really?
He's been having a bad time. Yeah.
So did he lose another gun?
He's
Not
about
yet,
to.
but he's going to. Yeah.
Derek, do you have anything positive to say today?
It's not been cool.
Uncool.
Football
Uncool.
season starts soon.
Walt's been devastating today's game as the Mahdi commander. I mean, it's just like
Well, he stacked the deck, you know. He admitted it before we started.
he stacked the deck.
He said he stacked the deck to make sure we would be overwhelmed, and we are.
Is he ever fair game master?
Well, he did tell us he had done it. We could have just gone home at that point and said, "Oh, we ain't playing that game."
Wow, we have troops everywhere coming at me. Walt, you just pulled up a card. What happens?
The drums stop. So because the drums stop, everybody that's been sitting on the sidelines comes in. First off, there are 400 more camels with emirs.
Okay.
So, there are 200 mounted rifles, 200 more mounted rifles, and 600 to be named later on the ambush list. And I can tell you right now what that's going to be.
All right, let's hear what. Let's hear what.
Inflated.
It's just too it's just too loaded.
And what's that one, Walt?
Spearmen.
Spearmen.
300 spearmen.
600.
600
They don't
spearmen.
allow
All
us to
right.
be
Well, let's
able to
place
do
those
it.
troops in the
Right.
official
Yeah, we
placement
use
spots
our firepower.
and continue our battle action.
Well, you can go a game right now if you want to.
We can. I mean,
Colonel Mike, what happened in today's battle? You can start it off.
There were a lot more Mahdi's than anticipated, so we are going to fall back and regroup and try another day. That's pretty much it. They're just overwhelmingly larger numbers. Even though we've still got quite a bit on the table, they've got somewhere, guesstimate, between 8 and 12 times our numbers. Yeah. And there's so many additional troops coming on board, we just don't even have any figures.
All right, I'll go to your major, the Highlander commander.
Oh. Well, Walt warned us before we started that he stacked the deck, and he did. I believe there are some glitches we need to fix in the rules. He can charge across the front of 3 of our units to hit a 4th, and only the 4th, that is the object of the charge, can shoot at it. That seems odd to me. But
well, I have to ask. I do believe you fired quite a bit in today's game.
I did, and to some effect. But like I said, I didn't run into any troops hand to hand. They were just overwhelming both ends of our formation.
So the Highlanders are there. We're going to go to Derek. Derek was commanding the Gatling gun and artillery and cavalry. Derek, sum up your command structure.
Woefully unprepared. The artillery did okay. The Gatling gun did not.
Cavalry should not be on the flanks. Make note to self. It should be in the center, so you can send it where it's needed. But it.
How did
the cavalry dismounted? They did okay holding this hill and chasing the Ansar off of it. So that was pretty productive. The Fuzzy Wuzzies did make off with the ammunition cart from the Gatling gun, so they'll be able to restock their piece back there.
Wow.
That's about it.
All right.
Bill, what do you think happened today?
Well, I believe that we held the best we could. My Egyptian troops worked well with both Major Kevin, the Scottish Highlander commander, and of course Colonel Mike and
You were
Derek.
told to occupy the buildings and you left the buildings.
I wanted to capture the village. So, anyhow, I am
Who's
still
got to say
alive,
that wasn't the village
and
you were supposed
I'm
to capture?
heading out to the village, and I drove back Walt's 200 million cavalry camel guys, but they're coming back again, and I'm going to get crushed. Walt's kicking my butt. Let's interview Walt next. We're now with Walt. Walt was our ever-fair GM today in Sands of the Sudan. Rules are still available to be purchased. Walt, take it away. What did you think of the game?
Well, I think Carlo did a great job schooling me on how to play this game. I heard a lot of whining and crying and arguing from the British players that everything was unfair, that it wasn't proper sport, it wasn't cricket. It was a very enjoyable game to hear that. It really was. Also, Dave, I appreciate your input on Facebook. Anything to help kick the Brits in the butt is a good idea. But truly, I did follow their suggestion, which actually is in the cards, that you want to take the 6 start drum cards and get that in the first 24. So within the first 12 turns, you're going to have at least 2 of these big buildups of troops. And I will admit, it was a lot of troops. In fact, at one point, we ran out of troops.
Of the Mahdi troops.
Yeah, of the Ansar. So that just means one thing. You know what that means, don't you?
You got to buy more camels.
And you got to start painting more, Bill, in 28 millimeter, not 54.
Now.
Oh yeah. So you got that. Plus Mike and Kevin will jump right in and carry their fair share. Derek has already brought stuff. In fact, you have Ansar fuzzies at home. I didn't ask you to bring any, but yeah, no. So we got. We just need more.
We just need more.
Always need more.
And so, what are we playing next Saturday, September 9th?
In Spanish, I think it's called the Alamo.
The Alamo in what scale?
The one true scale, 54 millimeter.
All right. So next week is the Alamo. Everyone, the Chuckle Heads had another great game. Great playing with everyone here. Stay safe. Be kind. Be courteous. And look for our video on the Alamo for next week in stunning 54 millimeter scale.
Mike, are these yours?